Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 71. Now you're probably thinking, wait, didn't you next for Shaman King? Yes, I did. But I wanted to get a few more episodes done of Liveman before I do Shaman King. So I'm here discussing episodes 16 18. My original plan was to go to 19 for this one, but 19 is part one of a three-parters. So I'm saving that for later. So there's that. In the case of these three episodes, two of these episodes involving some development for Mezzanilla, which is interesting to say the least. Yes, the very first one involves, you have Joe and Yusuke, where they're just basically doing patrol. All of a sudden, a bunch of ghosts show up. Yes, ghosts. Of their dead friends were killed back in the pilot episode, who all basically wear these talismans on their foreheads. And these talismans are actually, get this, Yusuke's old love letters. I'm not kidding about that. So, one of them he manages to find, like, oh crap, not this one. This is one I got into the academy. Be a love letter. So, he burns it. When he gets a chance, no one would see him. And then he decides to head back to Academia Island. First time that they've actually been here since episode 2. And this is 16. Yes. And I don't know if they revisit this place later on. I don't remember. So he goes there and see that the girls' dormitory is in ruins. Probably because I have back in the pilot episode, of course. So basically, who was Love Letter 2, you might ask? Well, it's actually revealed this episode by Dr. Oberon. Who is it? Ray. Of course. The one who's currently Dr. Mezzanilla. Yes. And when they reference basically when he had this little meeting, it's like where he says that you should basically spend more time studying than worry about love. And she's like, oh, I remember that. Yep, and by the way, the monstrous one is basically a ghost monster with a skull on his face. Which, from design-wise, looks like a redesign of Black Cross King in his monster form. I mean, it's simply put the same exact design, except the face is different. Yeah, mostly for the body, but not for the head. The head is simply different, but the body is simply the same as Black Cross King. The face monster very much. It's interesting, though, that Yusuke had a thing for Dr. Mezzanilla. Yep, yeah, previously I think for her they revealed that in this episode. Does it go anywhere? No, not really. Well, it does play a minor role in episode 18. 17 is a quite strange one to say the least. Yes, it involves Megamine, where she's on patrol, and she comes across a track runner who collapses into running for so much, and she has this doll named Toto, this clown doll, and apparently Kip wants the damn thing for some reason. Don't know why, but he does. By the way, for Dr. Oberon, I'm not sure exactly what exactly his plan was with the ghost of the soldiers. Like, there was never a real plan, he just happily there. This one, well, there is kind of a plan. Okay, so apparently Dr. Kent's plan is to turn all the toys against the humans. Which Dr. Asher points out, though, that's actually quite ingenious. Yeah, he comments the fact it's actually really a good idea. Why the heck you want to do this? I don't know. Apparently these things start becoming evil. One of these toys is, in fact, a Furby. Yeah, it's simply put a Furby. How would I know what this thing is? Because I played with a damn thing when I was a kid. And plus, I think I owned one once. This was years ago. Yes, I may have owned a Furby at one point, but yeah, it's a Furby. Furby is an old toy I don't think it's made anymore. Basically, what you do, you push its tongue and it talks. Oh yeah, and apparently we see this thing where it starts out needles, one of whom basically point at a child. I'm like, what the heck? Seriously. Yeah, and by the way, how to make the monster to make this thing? Basically, they convinced this one-shot character's track runner to give up her doll in exchange for a pair of running shoes. I'm like, really? And she doesn't obviously know there's a vault symbol on the shoes. And then it's people by Colin, who, by the way, I should point out about Colin in episode 16, she doesn't really do anything at all. 17 is kind of the same thing too, where you don't know what she does. She reveals, oh yeah, the shoes are going to explode when she runs really fast. And of course, they'll get off of it thanks to, of course, Toto. And eventually, the Toto doll is freed from the monster. Monster's destroyed. Toto's destroyed with a power stain on its face. And this woman's sister gets out of the hospital and watch her run. And that's that episode. 18 is a noteworthy one. This is Dr. Mazina, where she basically fully gets rid of the genome that she supposedly got rid of when the thing first started. Yes. Apparently, Dr. Baez, Great Professor Baez, decided to bring her in. Apparently, in this jar is basically this heart chromosome that apparently, for some reason, Mazia kept around for some reason. Even though she's told to get rid of the thing, and she thinks, oh, I thought we could keep around to make a monster. Make Twin Brain. Which makes it a copy of her. It's basically all good stuff, none of their bad stuff. And Joe apparently falls in love with her, spends some time with her, and of course I think it's her, like Mazia, where she's in human form again. Nope, it's a copy. And so, even after the thing is separated, first they couldn't destroy the monster, which they do. And then, of course, the pen that Joe gave her, though Dr. Ash recovers it, gives it to Mazia. I don't know if it's referenced again, but he just tossed it to her. And he walks off. And the thing is, he doesn't say anything at all. He just basically, in this episode, just stands around, just walks with his arms crossed, and then he tosses the pendant to her. I'm like, okay, you gonna say something? And, yeah. I would probably say for these 3 episodes, I say that 16 is a good one because of his use case past and the fact he got in the love letter. I thought that was interesting. And the fact it was basically one of the current villains was a real love letter too. 17, it just basically 17 felt like a filler episode mostly, and 18 definitely did feel like a canon episode. Did progress to something a little bit, but not by much. You can kind of say 18 is mostly a mix between filler and somewhat continuation of the story. Yeah, but how much I'll say those episodes? Like 16 is, like I said, 16 is good. 17 is pretty decent for what it is. And 18 is just good only for the main villain of the episode. Yep, so yes, definitely Shaman King will be next, okay? And they'll be back to this for episodes 1921, which is a 3-part story, which I will discuss in my next video, okay? Next video. Bye.